Good afternoon. I'm making this live video in support of my friend and colleague, Mr. Harsh Mander. He has been mentioned in an FIR that has been filed, apparently by the police, in the case of the CAA protests at Shaheen Bagh and other places. I find this mention of Harsh Mander in the FIR not just ridiculous or absurd, which it is, but as part of a criminal design to silence Harsh Mander himself, who is one of the most powerful voices currently in civil society in India, but to silence all of civil society, every dissident group, every individual journalist, writer, speaker, artist who has the courage to question what the government is doing on various counts. It's not just NRC or what happened in Assam or the atrocities that have been unleashed on all sorts of people in Kashmir, in the Northeast, in the tribal belt. But the fact that people find objectionable the most is the selective targeting by the government of India, by the BJP party, by the RSS that supports it. But that is indeed what Harsh Mander is doing, and others like him. They are articulating the voice of the common people, of all people, including me, including everybody else who doesn't have a recourse to a smartphone or who cannot speak on live media or is not called to television or doesn't have recourse to a newspaper. People like Harsh Mander, he himself, are speaking what everybody wants to speak, what everybody hopes that he has the power to speak. And in trying to silence, intimidate, coerce Harsh Mander by mentioning his name in such an FIR, what is the signal that the government is doing? I know Harsh Mander for decades. As an officer in the Indian Administrative Service when he was there, as heading an NGO when he was there, and in recent years as the founder of Karwai Mohabbat, of which I am also one of the members, right from the beginning. Together and with many other people, young and old, lawyers, scientists, activists, writers, we've toured this country. We've explored the damage that the NRC did to the psyche of the people of Assam, how it intimidated the common people, the poorest of the poor in the valley of the Brahmaputra, how it targeted the Muslims. We have toured this country visiting every spot, almost you could say, where there's been a lynching, where mobs aroused, radicalized by the dream that the regime is selling them of religion or religious-based supremacy, of the denial of citizenship and the right to live as citizens, equal citizens in India, to a certain community, of the aggressive propagation of Islamophobia. These are people who get roused by it, by religious symbols, and then go and attack people. Young people in trains, young people traveling in the forest, young people at a shop, young people in their homes, and kill them in the most brutal manner possible. We saw that in the last 2 years. Harsh Mander led it from the front, consoling the people, trying to reconcile them, trying to bring them hope that the country has not forsaken them. It's a few people, mad people, radicalized people, politically motivated people, that the rest of them are with them. The method he used, absolutely Gandhian, was critical in this whole exercise, in reconciling the victims with the rest of society. We sent out a message to those people that they were not rejected, that they were not forgotten, that they were not forsaken, that they were not being targeted. In fact, we brought succor and solace, Karwai Mohabbat, when it met widows, when it met old fathers and mothers who had bathed the body of their son who was stabbed 100 times or crushed by rocks or beaten by sticks. We met them. They were consoled. We wept with them and they wept tears that they had not wept for a long time. That is Harsh Mander's work. That is Harsh Mander's work. Assuring them, and then assuring them that the culprits will not be excused, that the culprits will be chased in courts of law through police stations, using the full might of the law of the land, trusting ourselves in the law of the land. The young lawyers of the Karwai Mohabbat have done that. In recent times of the pandemic, the NGOs that he founded, the people that he challenged, the people that he encouraged, the people for whom he became a symbol and an example, have gone out to bring food to people that nobody wants to do, in areas where they don't want to go, areas that are not there in the government map because the government doesn't want to see the tragedy of the real victims, the elephant in the room. Those are the areas of the volunteers that Harsh has trained, motivated, galvanized, given them a dose of love that they go and share, have gone. It's not just food. Anybody can bring up food. A government can go and throw chapatis from the helicopter from which they were sending flowers. How do you share love? How do you shower love from a helicopter? You have to go and touch the victim. You have to go and look into his eyes or her eyes. You have to pat the child. You have to take the child in your arms. You have to, the love must come from your bosom. That is how Gandhi would work. That's how Harsh works. That's how members of the Karwai Mohabbat work, young and old. And this is the Harsh that you want to paint as somebody of your kind, as somebody who would hate somebody with a passion that you hate the Muslims and you hate the Christians and you've hated other communities, the passion with which you hate the Dalits, the passion with which you loot the tribals, the passion that you ignore victims of riots, the passion with which you go and you file cases against those who have been tormented, those who have lost their sons and their brothers and their husbands. You think he's one of them? One of your policemen, one of your cadres, one of your members, one of your MLAs, one of your MPs, one of your cabinet colleagues who go and garland people who are murdered? Harsh and his kind that you're trying to trap in this web that you're woven. This is not that Harsh. You're trying not to silence one Harsh. You're trying to curb and silence and bandage the mouth of the very idea of India, the concept that our ancestors fought the British with, the concept that our ancestors fought casteism with, the concept that our ancestors assimilated all elements, keeping their windows and the doors open to create a people resilient, to create a people strong, to create a people who saw no difference in race, creed, sex, gender, age, income. That is called Gandhi's concept of nation building. That is a concept that Harsh Mander follows. That's a concept I follow. I may have problems with Gandhi's many arguments that he himself has had a problem with, as he has shown in his book, Experiments with Truth. Gandhi was an honest man, and his greatest honesty was to himself. He saw himself as others saw him, and he saw himself that no other can see, because when we see into our own soul, who's there to watch us? And he recorded it and he documented it, laugh at him, mock at him, break down his statues in England and in America. But the innate Gandhi, not the Gandhi of Africa, not the Gandhi of Porbandar, not the Gandhi as a student in England, but the Gandhi who was shot, the Gandhi who was killed by people thought his idea was dangerous, that the concept of a united India was dangerous, to daydream of a sectarian India, daydream of some mythological regime where they would be kings and I and the Dalits and the Muslims and the Sikhs and the Parsis and the Jains would be subjects, slaves, third-grade citizens. Gandhi defeated it living, and he entombed it forever by dying. Those are lessons that Harsh has learned, and those are lessons that Harsh preaches. I'm a witness to his preaching. I am not his servant, but I'm his brother. I'm not his employee. I'm his colleague. I'm not his staff. I say it because, and I continue to be with him because I find something compelling, something strong, something deep in his words. Some of them bring tears to my eyes, some of them bring tears to his eyes even as he speaks. A soft-spoken person, if ever there was a gentleman. But this is no age for gentlemen, this is no age for soft-spoken people. Is that what you want us to believe? I would like to hope that by so targeting Harsh Mander, you have sown dragon seeds. You have sown the seeds that will sprout and ensure your own defeat by the people of India, who 3 generations after Mahatma Gandhi was shot, years, decades after Nehru died, continue to hold dear to the dreams that they gave us. Dreams that I would like to dream, not only for my son and my daughter, but for my grandchildren and your grandchildren. The dream that we will live like brothers and sisters in a large family, taking care of each other, loving each other, nurturing each other, not targeting each other, not killing each other, not snatching the food out of the mouth of each other, not coveting each other's goods, living in camaraderie, in brotherhood, in the very large village, the very large hut that India is, full of windows and doors. This house has many rooms for each one of us, without doors, so we can walk in and walk out into the hearts of each other. You want to kill that dream by putting it in some FIR? It will not hold water in the court of the people. It will not hold water in the court of law. You have made a move, you have done a thing that will not only just fail but bring you ridicule. People will despise you, not just in New Delhi, not just in India, but in the world. You'll be shown to be despotic. You'll be shown to be against your own people. You'll be held out as a mother and a father who hates his own child. There are such people. I think it's a political disease. It's a political disease. People who kill their own children, people who wage war on their own children, their own citizens. They exist in mythology, and apparently they exist some. You have sown seeds for the defeat of such forces, for the defeat of such thought. The people of India are not fools. We have survived 5,000 years. Remember that. Like China, like Egypt, like Greece, like the Mayans. We have survived. We know that this too shall pass. I wish you well, dear leaders. I hope all of us will live through this COVID. I hope our economy will rise. I hope the poor will again find work. I hope the rich will make more money. I don't accept their money as long as they don't make their money by selling my blood or on the dead bodies of tribals and Dalits. We will survive. we will. God bless you, my rulers. God bless India.